俺が化け物？違う。俺は悪魔だ。
大昔、スケベな悪魔にさらわれ、その城に閉じ込められたという世にも美しき娘のことじゃ。気の毒に数千年もの間、誰の助けもなく暗い部屋の中で眠り続けておるそうな。
On July 18th, 1987, Dragon Ball would get its second feature film titled Majinjo no Nemuri Hime. It premiered at the Toei Manga Matsuri Film Festival. It was shown alongside the first Saint Seiya film, as well as the film versions of Hikari Sentai Mask Man and Chojinki Metarada. Unlike the first film, this isn't a straight-up retelling of the manga, though there are similar beats, such as Goku going to Kame-Sennin to train, meeting Kuririn. Most of the other things are done quite differently. For example, lunch is introduced in this film, but how they meet her and how she joins them is completely different. Another interesting tidbit is that of the first three films, which are all in the OG or the childhood era of Dragon Ball, this is the only one that has no Dragon Balls. Like, the Dragon Balls aren't even in the film. Once again, the opening and ending is the same as the anime series, Maka Fushigi Adventure and Romantic Ageryo. However, of course, the ending theme uses footage kind of recapping the movie, which basically the Dragon Ball films generally do. They show like a recap of the story one more time while the song plays. The first English dub was actually released between 1996 and 98 by the Creative Products Corporation. It's hard to find like concrete details on the exact year. For those who watched episode 1 in this series, you'll know that, especially with the first film, it had several English dubs before finally reaching Funimation. So Dragon Ball in its early days, many companies were trying to adapt it, and this is no different. The second film had its first try, and then eventually Funimation did get the rights around 1995, but they didn't make it yet. It was released in 1998. Funimation would finally release this film. They did make changes as per usual. That's kind of why I'm not a big fan of the English dub. They do change a lot of the dialogue. I don't know why. So for example, in the English dub, they have Yamcha and Puar react to Goku turning into the Ozaru as if they already knew that he could do that. Whereas in the Japanese dub, they have no idea why he's transforming. It's their first time seeing it because this is not the manga. It's not related to the manga. So I just think that's an interesting thing that the English dub changed.
ずっと西の果て森の奥深く分け入った城に数千年もの間眠り続けているという世にも美しいお姫様がいたんだと。
The movie actually starts out the same as the manga and the anime. Goku arrives to ask Kame-Sennin to train him. Even have some of the same gags, him yelling in his ear.
ワンツーワンツーワンツーワンツー
They kind of copy this one beat for beat, so it does feel like it's following. We have Kuririn arrive, he gives the dirty mags to Kame-Sennin. Where things will change is they're given their first mission, of course, to find him a Pichi Pichi Garu. And instead of them just going out to find their own, he gives them a specific one, knowing that it's kind of an impossible task because it's just a legend of the sleeping princess. And he tells them that if they can find the sleeping princess, who's supposed to be the most beautiful, woman ever, then he'll train them. But more or less, he's sending them on an impossible mission to just train them. This is how we get our story rolling. And I do like that the movie uses this, I guess you can say, legend. The Dragon Balls are a legend in Dragon Ball as well, as seen in the manga and the anime when Bulma first meets Goku. But this whole legend of this sleeping princess, which we don't know what's so special about it, it is used as the MacGuffin basically to get these characters moving forward. Not long after Goku and Kuririn leave, We have Bulma, Yamcha, Puar, and Oolong. They show up, at Kame House and they're like, hey, where's Goku? We heard he was over here. And he tells them where they went, so then they head out. It's a simple way to just get all of the heroes going in the same place.
悪魔の手と呼ばれる連なった5つの山が見える。
あれが悪魔の手。
So Goku and Kuririn actually arrive on foot, while Bulma and the rest are attacked by demons. And Bulma's captured. The captor finally reveals himself. He says his name is Lucifer, of course. A person introduces himself as Lucifer. It's pretty funny. You kind of immediately realize that person's probably not good. But of course, Bulma at this point, she's taken back by his handsome appearance, something we see quite often with young Bulma. Lucifer, of course, tries to convince her that she's a guest at their party. She asks, what about my friends? And the helper basically says, they didn't look so appetizing. It's a funny little line, the way he says it. I don't know how it's translated in English, but he says that they're mazuso, like they don't look so yummy, basically.
お前か、眠り姫を。カポカポ。
俺は眠り姫じゃねえ。
いや、そうじゃなくて、お前か、眠り姫をさらったっていうのは。
でも俺は眠り姫じゃねえよ。
Goku and Kuririn arrive, and they are of course met by a group of demons. The lead demon here is actually voiced by Daisuke Gori, and you guys know how much I love him. Soon the entire army shows up and we get our first major action scene in the movie, and it's actually probably a really good scene, to be honest. Even though it's like the middle point of the movie, it's a really good scene. You get Goku fighting with Nyoibo, Kuririn just using his martial arts. And what makes the scene stand out for me is this is kind of the first time seeing Kuririn fighting pre-Kame-Sennin training, because in the manga and the anime, they go to Kame-Sennin to train, and then when they get to the Tenkaichi Budokai, they show off their skills. But here we're seeing what, Kuririn can do. And I do like that aspect of this movie. It's been, again, Goku, of course, being not that efficient at fighting yet either. He's strong, he learned some martial arts stuff, but again, this is all before Kame-Sennin taught them proper martial arts. So I do like that point as we get to see them, I guess, in a very rough, grounded way of fighting. While Goku and Kuririn are fighting, Bulma's taken to the party where she learns she is the main course. Lucifer finally reveals his plan, and that is to awaken the sleeping princess by first drinking Bulma's blood.
ここが一番心臓に近いんですよ。
悪い冗談やめてよ。
Goku now discovers that the sleeping princess is not a person, but a crystal. And Lunch finally shows up and steals it. We saw Lunch early on in this film that she was researching the sleeping princess and she wanted to get it. So of course, when you're watching it for the first time, you're like, what would she have interest in a sleeping princess for? And then now it makes sense. She's trying to steal a treasure. So now we get Lunch in the mix, and it gets, of course, a lot of fun with her sneezing back and forth. Yamcha, Oolong, and Puar show up after disguising themselves. Lunch sneezes. She turns back to her passive self. This leads to everybody getting captured, basically. Goku and Kuririn get captured. And now with all the heroes captured, we finally learn that upon awaking the sleeping princess, it will vanquish the sun, which is what the vampires and the demons want. They want no more sun so the demons can rule the earth. While our heroes are captured, they get a view and they can see the full moon. This, of course, transforms Goku. Now, because this is not an adaptation of the manga and the anime, Yamcha, Puar, and Oolong have no idea what's happening right now. They're as shocked as Kuririn seeing Goku transform. After Goku transforms, he starts wrecking everything around him. There is a cool little bit. He picks up, like in the manga and the anime, he picks up Bulma, and it's very reminiscent of King Kong, the 1930s one. And here he picks up Lunch instead, and it's kind of a little homage to King Kong. It's actually Kuririn here who says that Goku's weakness is his tail, having grabbed his tail on the way there accidentally, and therefore from here it's very similar beats. Puar turns into the shears, cuts off Goku's tail. Even to the point where Goku wakes up and, where's my tail? Where's my tail? Oh my God. Like the same joke even happens there. He borrows Oolong's, clothes. So a lot of these beats are borrowed from the source material. But again, the major story is unique. Lucifer and Goku fight, and Lucifer shows that he's quite a formidable foe. So much that Goku's actually about to be blasted when Kuririn comes in to save the day. And we do get a nice little moment here where it shows that, they go side by side. It shows that Goku and Kuririn have bonded in this adventure. And I like that, using this to show how they come together. Whereas, of course, in the anime and the manga, the training with Kame-sen, and they gradually bond together. From here, he's about to shoot the sun. Goku blasts it with a big Kamehameha, destroying it. One negative point about, I guess you could say the movies is the Kamehameha is the answer to everything often, and especially for a Goku who hasn't really trained yet, his Kamehameha can do anything, so. But Lucifer does get caught in the blast of the laser. As the machine's like falling apart, it does fire its blast, but it fires it and Lucifer's nearby. It kind of he dies to his own weapon. I just think that's interesting, almost like Krennic dying to the Death Star. It's just ironic, I guess you could say. The film ends with Goku and Kuririn bringing lunch back to Kame House. Again, bringing things full circle with the manga and the anime. And then you get the same gags where, Kame-sen is like, come on, I'll have some nice clothes for you to wear. And then she sneezes, she shoots at them. So we do get like those similar jokes there. I do like that a lot. For me, this is a highly enjoyable film that I feel is an improvement upon the first. While the villains are nothing to write home about, the action and the humor are the true highlights. Deviating further from the source material, it paved the way for future feature films to be more ambitious with their storytelling and just have fun with the characters. So what do you guys think of the second Dragon Ball film? Have you seen it before? Will you give it a rewatch if you have? Drop your comments below. As always, like, subscribe, and share, and see you soon.